Welcome back to Tech Talk with Craig Peterson. Today we're talking about health and fitness, some of the things we can do to improve our welfare, and there are a whole bunch of different things. It's an interesting show today. Right now we're going to talk about something called vibration training. Now it's been around for about 50 years so far, from its earliest days to the point now where we're going to be talking with Gabriel Ettinson. He's the co-owner and physical therapist at the Amplitude Vibration Studio. Now, this is a studio down in New York. They have a bunch of equipment that uses this vibration therapy that we're going to talk about that can help with a multitude of different physical problems, ailments. It can help you get that little extra edge if you are an athlete, or maybe even help fix a problem that you might have that you just haven't been able to take care of. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Gabriel, welcome to Tech Talk with Craig Peterson.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the history here. I can remember some of those machines way back from the 50s, where your 40s, you put a strap around your hips and, kind of the very earliest vibration up until some of the equipment today. Can you give us a little bit of history behind vibration therapy, what it's about?
Sure. Well, the use of vibration dates far back, all the way to the 1800s, but specifically for the purpose of using it for muscle, bone, strength training, and flexibility training, the origins go back to the 1960s, where it was originally used on the Russian cosmonauts. They were basically looking to reproduce the effects of gravity on the body so that the cosmonauts could stay in space for a longer period of time without experiencing the loss of muscle and the loss of bone density that's normally associated with low-gravity environments.
Mm-hmm. And that's obviously a huge problem, losing the muscle mass. We have that same problem here on Earth, too, as people get older, osteoporosis and things. So are they looking at using, or are you using some of that same technology to fix similar problems?
Right. The original technology involved just pulleys that vibrated, but in Germany in the 90s, they begun using the platform underneath the feet to force the muscles to contract against the forces of the platform from the ground up. It has been used heavily now for clinical studies on bone density and muscle strength, and I think one of the biggest potential influences it's going to have in the future is working to eliminate and hopefully eliminate, but certainly reduce these normal aging processes that we're seeing with lean muscle and bone.
So I can see how, for instance, I've played on balance boards before that you might use in martial arts and things. I can see how that really helps with your core muscle strength. With these vibrating machines, what's actually happening, and how is that helping the bones?
Well, when we look at wobble boards, we're looking at things that are moving at extremely slow speeds. If you think about a wobble board moving back and forth. Here we're talking about extremely high speeds, high accelerations, and what that translates into is higher forces that the muscles need to react to. And essentially a lot of the research coming out of Germany and really the newer understanding of bone density issues is that the bone and the muscle work together. The higher the ability of the muscle has to generate force, the more that the bone maintains its density. So the key to maintaining bone density is to maintain muscle force. And here we're simply just using the platform to create higher forces on the body and the muscles to respond to those forces.
I enjoy some of these reality, if you will, shows on TV, and there's a show called Hardcore Pawn, which is out in Detroit, and there was this lady that came in with this machine, and it was, I think she said she paid $4,000 or $5,000 for it, and basically it was a vibrating platform, and this was a very thin, svelte lady. I was really impressed, as was everyone else in the store when she came in with this thing. And she said that when she got this, she had started out, she was morbidly obese obese. And she said the only thing she did was start standing on this vibrating platform. Right now we're speaking with Gabriel Ettenson. He is at a place called Amplitude Vibration Studio. Now you can find them online at amplitudevibration.com. And that's what we're talking about right now. Some of the vibration therapy, what it can do, and we'll talk more about that in just a minute, and hopefully what it might be able to do to help you out as well. Gabriel, is she abnormal? Was she telling these guys at the pawn store a bit of a line?
Well, there is certainly some sales and marketing deception that's occurred with this industry, and I think that's probably why it's taken so long to take off. But the reality of that situation is that the platform does force your muscles to contract. So realistically, we can burn calories, we can promote weight loss, change body composition, and improve health by simply standing on the platform. As far as dramatic weight loss goes, as we say here, we always want to focus on the nutritional side as well. Mm-hmm. When you combine the two, you can achieve these effects. But I think that the fundamental thing to gain from that situation is that we are really talking about a machine that can make your muscles contract by simply standing on it.
Very neat.
As it sounds.
Yeah, it is neat. I've played a little bit with a couple of them because I've seen some low-end stuff before that I've played with in various stores. Now, let's talk about some of the other things. We've talked a little bit about weight loss here, potentially. We've talked a little bit about some of the bone density that can be improved. I know there's some studies that show that. What other types of things are you using vibration for down there to help people?
Right. Well, we use it as a physical therapist. I've used quite a bit of it to treat patients, so it's very effective at improving flexibility, which is a primary source of dysfunction when people are experiencing any kind of musculoskeletal pain. We've also used it to treat pain, to treat low back pain specifically, which again has been studied and shown in clinical studies to be effective. We work on balance training, as you mentioned earlier, and also for people that are having circulatory problems, as the vibration and the muscle contraction is very helpful for promoting circulation to the legs and to the arms. I just would add that what I think is the biggest potential benefit and something that is being studied heavily now is that because it's using the nervous system to contract the muscles, it may be a very effective option for treating the growing problem of multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's disease, and other neurological diseases. And we've recently begun working with a lot of individuals here with multiple sclerosis, muscular dystrophy, spinal muscular atrophy, and we're seeing phenomenal results with them.
I'm looking right now at your website here. Again, to find out more, go to amplitudevibration.com, and there's a link there for vibration training, also about some of the other types of services that you guys have there, including this AlterG anti-gravity treadmill training, a whole bunch of different things. So you're able to, with the vibration therapy, very simply, even with someone that has mobility problems, help improve the mobility, because this isn't like your typical physical therapy where you're, doctor, it hurts when I do this, as you're putting your arm up over your head and trying to scratch your back. And so they make you do that even more, right? This is something that it's relatively painless and has had some amazing results.
Right. We do traditional physical therapy here. But again, from a therapeutic angle, what we're looking at is trying to make those connections to the things we're trying to do to correct movement happen faster. And we do that by taking our traditional exercises and incorporating the vibration.
So you mentioned a few different types of individuals who might visit you. You mentioned some neurological disorders. We talked a little bit about fitness and getting into shape, improving core musculature. If someone is kind of already having problems, obviously this is something vibration therapy and you guys can help with. We haven't really talked about the people who are looking for that little bit of extra edge, these real competitive athletes and others. How does it help with them?
Well, when we're talking about athletes, one of the things across the board with athletes that we're looking to do is to improve speed and to define speed, meaning how fast can the brain and the muscles communicate? How efficient can they be? Because we're using the nervous system with vibration training, we're able to expedite the process by which the communication happens. So we're improving the awareness and the speed of contraction in the muscles. The other side of this is that because we're using higher forces in the body, we're able to sort of dig deeper into the muscle system and start getting into some of these muscles that are better energy storage muscles, these types of fibers. So by training these fibers, we're able to take any athlete and improve their endurance and give them that sort of kick that they need to improve performance overall.
So it's something that can really help. If someone is interested in finding out more, obviously they can go to your website there at amplitudevibration.com. They can come and get your services. Obviously, you're not that far away down in New York City. What else can people do to find out more, or maybe even do some things in their own homes?
Well, the information is available, as you mentioned. I think one of the biggest messages that I'd like to get out there is that you can find quite a bit online that will give you more information about not only local availability, but also the different types of platforms that are available. The key is to just take a look at the research and always be sure to look at what's been used in the research. There are a lot of platforms that are available out there that do not perform as indicated, and with this type of training, if you don't have proper performance, you will not get the effects that we're talking about. Outside of that, I would say we're just trying to really try to raise awareness of the reality of this technique, which has been around for a while but has slowly grown. So I guess it would be hard to say where else could you go to find out more information. But just take a look at the research and make sure you experience this firsthand before you buy anything or consider committing anything financially to this training technique.
All right. Again, amplitudevibration.com. We'll be right back.